You really start to appreciate what you have now, and like working and doing the hustle I do now, because I love what I do, designing gyms for our family company. Anyone in fitness is going to be a competitor, right? So it's like, how do you make yourself better? And that's through customer service, and that's probably our biggest advantage we have. Networking for me has opened up all these doors that I never had before. And you got to network in the right way. You got to network with empathy. You got to be trustworthy. If I refer someone, I better know that that person is going to do what I told that other person. If they're not, that's a bad look on me. I think the biggest thing is in the morning, I have to get a workout in. My day gets very complicated, but once I get that workout in, the endorphins I have, you rip a cold shower, I'm flying. My dad just always believed in helping people live a better lifestyle through health and fitness, and what better way than, decking out gyms for them.
What's up, you guys? Welcome to another episode of Successful DNA. Here I have my friend Gordie Gronkowski with us. Gordie, thanks for coming, dude.
Dude, you know how far of a drive it was just to come here to be with you this morning?
I know, it's so crazy. From the Northeast
flew
just
down,
for this.
Drove from St. Pete. Here I am in Clearwater with my boy Elliott.
And you're going to your mom's tomorrow, right?
I'm going to my mom's down in Fort Myers, yeah.
Cool.
Spend Christmas with her. So.
Well, thanks for coming, dude. I want to start. One of the things I like most about you, everybody probably thinks the Gronkowski name and thinks like wild and crazy and whatnot.
I don't know what they think.
I don't know, yeah. But with you, the one thing I like the most about you is like, yeah, you're also, as wild as they come. But at the same time, you're super genuine, super compassionate, super caring. Where does that come from?
You know what? Empathy really comes from our parents, at a younger age. And it was just like they taught us, how to have as brothers, have each other's back at all times, but also give back and do things so people respect you in the right ways, right? And that's what it really came from, is when we were growing up, making sure that we always said thank you, open doors for people, basic stuff that you don't realize like how impactful that is as you get older, and how much people actually appreciate that, And I feel like, you can, when you're kind, it's not hard to be nice. It's not hard to smile, you know what I mean? And I think there's not enough people doing it. And that energy, people can feel that. And I feel like those are the people who are around most of the time now. And if they're not, then usually, we push them out of our lives.
Yeah, it's funny you say that. One of our company mission statements is change the world. And it's because we come in contact with so many random people throughout the day.
Especially in your industry.
Yeah, our guest communications team, they're going to get, 1,000 messages a day. And so we always train them, hey, exclamation marks, smiley faces, super, super not, which is like, how hard is it to add a smiley face? How hard is it to say thank you, open a door, compliment somebody on their sweater or whatever? You might be the only person that day to smile at them.
Exactly.
And so, cool.
And I think that also talks a lot about how our relationship started, we got introduced through a mutual friend, and the way you guys, made us feel, not just as coming in doing business with you guys at Home Team Vacation Rentals, but also, it feels more like a friendship and a family, with you guys. And so, now look at, we're doing a podcast together, having fun, just, shooting the shit and catching up. And this is awesome.
So you have had a crazy life. And your story is freaking insane, through minor league baseball, through your business, through all the relationship with your brothers and your dad's success. Let's start there. How did growing up in a family of athletes influence your career path and business ventures?
So, I mean, playing, the amount of sports we played as kids was crazy. Our parents wanted us to be active. They didn't want us playing video games all the time. My dad went to college and played college football. My mom did track and water skiing, and, all these different outdoor sports activities at a young age as well, and through college. So, they always kept us active and involved around and moving, which was huge. The cool thing was my mom never actually made us eat out. She made dinner for us every single night, so it was a free-for-all, as you could imagine, when you got home from sports or from school. You had to get the food first. If it was gone, usually it was gone by the time my dad got home from work, but it's all good. He had to figure that out.
And your mom has a cooking show, right?
Yeah, so she cooks all the time. She's actually insane. She actually doesn't have a cooking show. She has a book that she came out with last year called Outnumbered for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
Because those 5 boys are so much taller and bigger than her, and it's just the 5 of us, But a lot of her book actually talks about the meals that she made for us as kids versus having us eat out. Actually, it's crazy. It's called chicken souffle.
Okay.
Yeah, it's her special. She took the recipe from my grandma and kind of turned it into her own.
What is chicken souffle?
It's just a crazy combination of mushroom soup, chicken, a little bit of bread, onions, celery, and the way that she makes it like a souffle and the fluffiness and the texture of it is just ridiculously good.
My mouth's watering right now. So you and I are very familiar with the baseball grind and minor league grind. Let's go through that. So the people that don't know what it's like to live the life of a minor league baseball player, and it's pretty similar today than it was, even when you were playing. What was that grind like? And let's talk a little bit about that.
What's funny is we were just having a conversation at dinner about this last night, and I think minor league baseball is so hard that when people are like, Gordie, you work at 4 a.m. every day or 5:30 a.m., you're up so early, you're doing the cold plunge, you're ahead of the game with work, and then you're working until 9, 10, 11 at night, 6, 7 days a week. And on the holidays, they're like, you don't have any balance. You're never going to have balance if you want to get to a different place, right? And depending what that is and what your goals are, everyone's goals are different. But the minor leagues was so hard, and you make zero money, as you know.
Yeah.
I think I made right around $900 a month, $900 a month. Lived with a host family almost 11 different years in a row, from college through the minor leagues. Single beds, couches, hotel rooms. All the times I blew up a floaty on the bus and put it underneath those bus seats at 6, 7 and laid on the ground for our 13-hour bus trips in the minor leagues. You really start to appreciate what you have now, and working and doing the hustle I do now, because I love what I do, designing gyms for our family company. But that was so hard that doing this actually feels so much easier now.
You mentioned life-work balance. What is life-work balance to you?
You know what? I don't think there's ever going to be a true balance. You can try to get to wherever you want. People always are like, hey, you need more balance. And you're like, what's that mean?
Yeah.
If you enjoy going to work and you get that rush, I get that rush going to work. I love it.
Yeah.
I'd rather do that than try to come home and sit around or watch a movie or, try to have a little bit more balance that way. My balance I would rather be at work, closing more deals, decking out more gyms, helping people live a healthier lifestyle, and connecting more people to help them reach their goals and dreams. So that's my life-work balance.
I love talking about that. To me, work-life balance is seasonal. There's going to be seasons where there's absolutely no balance. You're getting after it, especially with us, 2 years ago, starting home team from the ground up. It was just an absolute, it's a little different because I had a newborn and a 2-year-old. But outside of work and my kids, I tell people all the time still, I don't really do anything outside of work and kids because, it's so
and your
different.
events, which is considered work.
Yeah. And so, because could I go, I don't necessarily miss the going out or lifestyle or anything because by the time I wake up, work a little bit, then hang out with my kids, then go to work, then come home, hang out with my kids. I'm just absolutely just drained. So cool.
I also think that too, having a family, that's a whole nother job, right?
Yeah.
So there's times where I get it. I'm staying at work longer, which I love. I don't even consider it work. But you have a family is almost a whole nother job, right?
Yeah.
So when I'm doing what I'm doing, I understand that, my brothers and people like you, you're going back to another job as well, in a way.
Compared to raising kids, this job's easy.
Yeah, there you go. I couldn't tell you.
And you got plenty of nephews and nieces.
I do.
But you can give them back, though.
I give them right back. That's the best part about it. Love those kids.
Let's get into your dad's story a little bit and starting the fitness brand and just how it grew into the business today. What's the long version of from your dad starting the business to now?
So a long version short, he went to Syracuse, played football there. And when you go to a major college, they have great fitness equipment. When he went back to Buffalo, New York, he's like, dude, I want great fitness equipment for my home. Went around, he goes, there's nothing. You have the sporting goods stores, but as you know, those are entry level strength equipment.
Yeah.
My dad's a big dude, 6'3", 280. He's gonna break right through those benches, right through those weights, treadmills. So he's like, I want quality. I want what I'm used to using. The first place he found good quality fitness equipment in a retail store was Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. When he went down there, he realized, hey, there might be an opportunity in Buffalo, New York for this. So he talked to his brother, Glenn, his only brother, and they're like, hey, you want to start a fitness company? My uncle played football at Canisius College. They're like, yeah, let's do it. This sounds like a great idea, and they took all the money they had, which was probably 15, 20 grand, opened this little store. Within less than 2 months, both of them wanted out. So my uncle actually came to my dad and said, or my dad went to my uncle, one of the two, it didn't matter. They were talking and they're like, hey, do you want to just buy me out? This isn't going to work. My uncle has a really good job, still is with the same company 36 years later.
Cool.
My dad's like, I don't know. I'm doing these oil sales. I'm doing good here. I don't have time to run this either. And then my uncle's like, well, I don't really want to do it. My dad's like, all right, I'll just do it then. I'll keep it keep it going. So my dad would work the oil sales job, then do the full-time at fitness. And then he was doing the service and the delivery and the install because there was only 1 or 2 people at the store with high-end fitness equipment and all the money that he put into it. It's like, years later, he's like, I don't know if this is ever going to work. The economy turned a little bit. People were buying higher-end fitness equipment. And next thing you know, he was able to open another store in Syracuse, right near where he went to college. A third store in Rochester, there's 3. And then we opened up a commercial division. And once we started designing gyms for multifamily, hotels, colleges, that's really what kind of was the turning point where retail's okay. Commercial is where you can do really well, but you need the right partners, you need the right people, you need the right brands. And someone came to my dad, actually Augie Nato, who had ALS and the founder of Life Fitness Equipment, and said, hey, if you ever want to grow, you actually got to trust your employees and you got to add more people, otherwise you're never going to get there. So my dad took that step and went for it, and here we are today with 12 plus retail stores, 80 employees, and one of the top 3 largest distributors of fitness equipment in the U.S. So my dad just always believed in helping people live a better lifestyle through health and fitness, and what better way than, decking out gyms for them.
What are at this point, the business model, what are the top 2 or 3 sources of revenue for you guys?
Right now, it's commercial sales. So our commercial reps are all paid on commission for the most part. So, and they have their own offices. So really, you're just working out of your own home. If you want your own office, you can go get your own office. So any money coming in is really bottom line, money, which is great. Our online sales, because of our brother Dan, has been absolutely incredible. Dan is just a very talented, smart kid who was in the NFL for 4 years, took over our website sales from a couple hundred thousand years ago to millions, of dollars. So that has been in 46 states now that we deliver to.
The commercial side, what's the biggest, colleges or hotels or?
High schools is huge for us. Okay. Colleges is really big for us. A lot of police and fire.
Okay.
Gyms we're doing. I just did 12 new refreshes for the Boston Police of their gyms. Yeah. So it's really cool. Everyone we get to connect with, pro sports teams. But yeah, our bread and butter is the 4 we just discussed before that. And
how do you compete? And with my limited knowledge of the commercial gym space, the only main ones I know are Rogue, and Nike just released their own.
Yeah.
How do you guys compete with them? Do you compete with them at all?
Yeah, I mean, anyone in fitness is going to be a competitor, right? So it's how do you make yourself better? And that's through, customer service, and that's probably our biggest advantage we have. From top to bottom, it starts with our employees, obviously, and then we have our own division of service as well. So if something ever happens to your fitness equipment, I got to think with Nike, it's got to be hard to get a hold of them.
Yeah.
I'm just, it's got to be hard to get a hold of Rogue, right? When you call us, even you got your rep, or you can actually call our service department and go right over your rep. Someone's going to answer from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. What's the serial number, the model, and the issue? And guess what? They're sending someone out and taking care of you. They're looking up the warranty for your product. That's it. The last thing people want to do is sit on their phone on 1-800 numbers with a company like Nike to figure out a small issue because they're, something happened with their dumbbell or treadmill or whatever it is, right? So I think that's the biggest advantage we have is our customer service is absolutely incredible. You get someone right away. And I think that's also truly what's helped get us to where we are of 35 years in business, because most of these companies have went out of business or came back in over those 35 years.
I love what you guys did with the logo, incorporating Rub Spike. How'd that come about? And
it's kind of funny because we are actually just talking about the other day. We're actually trying to simplify it.
Okay.
Unfortunately, we had some issues with Nike. It wasn't anything bad. It was really close to the Jordan logo, which we didn't even realize. So the Jordan side of it, it was a little bit confusing. We didn't even notice it, but then they just asked us to switch it. So we've actually made it this week, really clean and simple. And the other thing too is what I think was a little bit confusing is, our business is G&G Fitness. The founder's our father, and we have Gronk Fitness products. We also make our own fitness equipment, just like Rogue, just like Nike. We make Gronk Fitness. People are getting confused with the actual our store names and then our fitness equipment. So how do we simplify that? And that's what we did is we made a really cool dual branded logo to make it more simpler for people to understand. And we actually switched up our websites, our emails, so our branding's a lot cleaner now. And that's funny you ask because we just did that in the last 4 weeks.
That's funny. Well, cool. I'm interested to see that. So one thing I like about you, and especially on your Instagram and whatnot, it's like super, and really, your whole family, super busy, super involved in, so many things, but you still remain healthy and remain pretty active, working out and whatnot. Talk through that on why that's important to you.
I think the biggest thing is for me is in the morning, I have to get a workout in. My day gets very complicated. But once I get that workout in, the endorphins I have, you rip a cold shower, I'm flying. I'm like ready to go. I want to make other people's days like amazing, and I want to help others reach their dreams and goals, depending on what it is. It could be something different every single day. It could be something through health and fitness. It could be just a conversation. It could be because I reached out to 2 people that day that I haven't talked to in a while. But when my mind's flying like that, I can do those things. If it's not, or I don't work out in the morning, I feel completely different. Like, I feel like I don't want to do those things. So it's weird. Do I want to get up every morning and work out? No, I don't think anyone really says like, yeah, I'm excited to like hit the gym at 5, 6 a.m. And get a workout in. Yeah. But the way you feel when you're done is better than how I'm going to feel all day. So why won't I take, 1 to 4% of my day to make myself feel amazing so I can give back to other people? So that's the way I look at it. But that's how I usually start my mornings off.
Some people say don't hire family and friends. And here you guys have a thriving family business. Do you want to talk about this too?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think it's different for every person.
Yeah.
I think the communication has to be critical when you're going to hire or be part of a family business, or you're going to get into something with your brothers or sisters or your mom or dad or any part of your family. I think it's all about communication, and it got to start at the beginning. Everyone's got to know their roles. They got to know what position or what seat they're in. And I feel like a lot of people don't have that conversation up front, and then it causes problems because someone's going to be carrying more of the weight for whatever reason than someone else, and then they're not happy about that. You know what I mean? So, and then that's where communication doesn't come into play. They don't talk it out. So if there's an issue, instead what they're doing is they're trying to avoid it, and it's causing more of an issue, versus just talking it out and saying, hey, I have something I just want to talk to you about. It's just been bothering me. Can we just talk it out? Business hats on. Has nothing to do with my friendship with you, with my brothers. It's just something that's bothering me. But it also, if I don't have that conversation, they don't even realize sometimes that they're doing it.
Yeah.
So you got to be able to have conversations. A lot of what I learned, I've also taken a lot of business classes when I got out of playing pro baseball, because I wanted to be able to communicate at a different level to make sure that I don't want things to bother me, let alone bother my employees or my family or my brothers, So I think that's the biggest thing.
Is your dad still pretty involved in business?
Yeah, absolutely.
What's one of the biggest 2 or 3 lessons you've learned from him? Because y'all been working together for a while now.
Yeah, so Papa Gronk started, G&G Fitness, and pretty much the year Rob was born, so almost 35 years now. But he's still our president. He still overlooks all the numbers. He kind of relies on me and Dan for some of the innovation in online sales, to be different, especially with social media these days. It's kind of hard to have a conversation with my dad sometimes about social media because he really doesn't get it and why we put in the time in, or the influencers. He's like, hey, we built this up ourselves, but he just doesn't get it until we can show him the numbers or what's coming back based on pretty much who we're bringing in and if there's true revenue coming back or not. Like, he likes to see that, which that's what you want to see, right? But from running our company to almost every single deal you've seen my brother's on for commercials, anything we've done with appearances, almost everything has ran through him. So truly, he is still involved every single day, and I think that's what keeps him sharp. But he also works out every morning 2 to 3 hours. Yeah. But he's the face of fitness. When you think fitness, you think Papa Gronk. I mean, he truly believes in what he does and the amount of people he's affected in such a positive way. But it's cool, too, because he doesn't really – if we went to an agency – an agency is going to take 20, 25% of a deal we bring in for a brother or for ourselves. He doesn't take anything. So think of, being such a cool dad, not only negotiating our contracts, but then also not taking percentages. It's incredible. Yeah. The lessons he's taught us.
Cool. The Gronkowski name has a brand and people know it. Like, why do you think what makes the Gronkowski name such a powerhouse name in both business and sports?
Yeah, I think it starts with the energy that we bring on and off the field. We've always been so compassionate about everything we do. We do take it to a level that's different for us compared to what other people bring it to. And I think you got to win by being prepared and being ahead of the game. So, like, when I go into a baseball game or into a business situation, I need to make sure, like, if I take care of myself and I'm ahead and I'm training and working and ready to play, I expect that, out of my teammates. Like, but if they see me doing it, they're going to start doing it, So it really starts with, I'm not a big, like, speaker for motivation. I'm more like, do things, right? If you're doing it, then other people are going to do it, especially if you're being successful. So I don't like to talk about it. I'd rather be about it, and I think that's all my brothers kind of live that way. You never see behind the scenes what they're actually doing. Yeah. I would be like, when my brothers were retired, I'm like, dude, what are you guys doing? Especially Big Rob. He's like, he's running routes. He's still training harder than he ever did in the NFL. He's like, well, we're training for life. Yeah. And then next thing you know, he went back and won another Super Bowl. But like, that's how all my brothers think. Is that, but they're training for life, not just for on the field, but also for their businesses. Because when they have that type of energy and, they're training like that, that's what they're bringing to their business as well.
What do you think people misunderstand about you and your family the most?
They probably think we party like every single day. Yeah. Early on in our careers, you got to think we're dancing, we're out there, we're live. A lot of it's social media, so they make it a lot bigger than it really is. Yeah. There's probably some things that we've done that been kind of edgy, not in a bad way, but in a party rock way, that everyone just assumes that, hey, if I see them, I'm going to be ripping shots and muscle chugs and we're going to hit the dance floor on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Yeah. But you can't live, like, you're just not going to be able to make it or sustain that lifestyle. Yeah. We probably did do it a little bit early on in our careers, but we also had to learn to adjust.
It might be the daily muscle chugs on Instagram.
Exactly. Yeah. But when people are sending them to me, I feel like, you got to send something back or at least like them or.
You can't say no to muscle chugs.
No, you can't. It's too hard. I can't say no to it. Yeah, I got to do it. So I just got to be careful Monday through Thursday.
What does success mean to you personally? Like, is it about money, impact, or something else?
No, it's funny. I was actually just talking about it yesterday. Obviously, if success was money, I wouldn't be in the minor leagues. I could have started making money right out of college with my career, with our family business. But, playing minor league baseball, making $900 a month, I was almost like, 29 years, late 20s. Obviously, that's what I wasn't really going for at the time. I just love the sport. I love the game. It's taught me so much to be a team player, leadership, scheduling, as you know. So it's such a tough grind. But now what I would want to do is I want to get to a point where through health and fitness, yes, make a lot of money, but to be able to give back to help other people out. So that's why I'd want to make a lot of money now, is to be able to help like other people get to where they want to get to.
How do you do that?
I think, I think it's different for every person. I think a lot of it's networking. You got to want to be a hustler, a networker. You want to put in extra hours. You're going to want to work on Saturdays and Sundays. If you're not doing that, I'm getting ahead of you. And I work Saturdays, Sundays. So those are all extra hours and times to be able to get ahead, to get to a place if you want to be there, without quicker, if you want to get there quicker. So it's not easy for sure, but I like what I do, so it becomes easier. Putting in 70 and 90 hours a week, I don't always think it's ideal, but I love what I do, so who cares, right? Like if I'm sitting at home, I don't get that rush. When I'm at work, I get the rush I want to get. It's weird. Yeah. But a lot of it, it's hard to do, but networking for me has opened up all these doors that I never had before.
Yeah.
You got to network in the right way. You got to network with empathy. You got to be trustworthy. If I refer someone, I better know that person is going to do what I told that other person. If they're not, that's a bad look on me, right? And so that's what I really try to do, is partner with people who I know are loyal, trustworthy. I've done research on them to make sure that they're the right people I want to be friends with or do business with. And then, you start to get in those groups that they're all helping each other out, which is so cool. And that's what I've done. I found groups that we all push leads, we all help each other out, and it just stays within that group, right? And so that's how you get ahead of the game, but it's not easy, but look up things in your community, how to go places. If you're networking, don't talk to one person the whole entire time. Spend 5 minutes with them. Hey, I got to go talk to someone else. Tap on the shoulder, get their business card. What do you do? And if they're not worth your time, or they're not, someone that you think you can get referrals off, that's okay. Just move on. Get to the next person until you find the right people, 3, 4, 10 people that day in that networking event that makes sense for you. So I've been able to open up doors by networking, and then taking advantage of that because people trust us. They know we're going to talk good about their company, about the people. We've already proved that, the loyalty, the empathy, show kindness. It's not very hard to do, but a lot of people don't. They want to run their business being,
jerks.
Jerks or mean. And dude, that's not how I want to run. I want people to be around me having fun. I want to have fun. I want it to be open door. Communication has to be great.
Yeah.
But by doing all that networking now, I'm truly blessed for some of the things that have happened, that I'm going to be able to make a lot more money helping other people out too, which is cool.
Yeah. I tell our team all the time, like, while what we're doing is very important, like, these are investments for people. It's super important. It's not life or death. It's not brain surgery. It's not heart surgery. And we're not guaranteed tomorrow. We are not guaranteed to, the crazy world we live in today.
Yeah.
So that's been huge for us. You've put a lot of work lately into your social media, I've noticed.
Yeah.
Talk through that. What have you done differently? You hired a social media manager. He's right there behind the camera.
Yeah,
how's
right
that going?
over there actually. So social media it's a big part nowadays of business. A lot of businesses, not everyone, but we have an opportunity because of the brand we build as a family to take advantage of that in such a positive way. The thing for me versus like even my youngest brother, we're 10 years apart, but I never really did social, and I don't know if you did, but in the minor leagues, when I had my Los Angeles Angels jersey on at spring training, I don't have a single photo. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I probably have to go back and like ask someone for it, but like I can't even post like me being an Angels uni drafted for the years I was in the minor leagues, even wearing it, number 98, which is great. So I have a couple minor league baseball photos of like when I was on our, the teams you get sent off to, but that just shows you the difference from then to where I'm at now with social media and how important it is to grow a brand, around yourself and then around your business. So by doing that though, for me, I don't have the time. Some people are just creators or YouTubers. That's what they do full time. They love it. And that's awesome. Hats off to them, especially for how much money some of these guys are making, but they're creative. It's cool. People want to watch it. They want to be different. Like if you can do that, do it, that's just not me all out. Right. So I've been very fortunate to have people around me who helped me out. Jack, who's right there, I've known for 4 years. He was with the Bucks. He was working for another company that works a lot with brands, which is really cool. Mm-hmm. And, we stayed in touch, and now I feel like, I have a really good person that can help me out and help me understand the path to grow the brand the way I want to grow it.
Yeah.
Like, it's great. Yeah, I have a lot of followers, cool. But, like, how do you actually grow a brand around it? And then also use that to merge it with your business as well around health and fitness, right? And so that's what's been cool is that some of the creative ideas and the trends that we've been able to do together, which is now I'm having fun doing it.
Yeah.
Where before I'm trying to do it, I don't have the time. I'm just trying to put up these crazy videos. I'm spelling things wrong.
Yeah.
So now it's just been going really good. Maybe I need to spell things wrong because then people really know it's me doing it, But it's a combination of both, right? So it's been super helpful, but I think it's huge for the brand and for helping us grow as well.
Let's get into the name of the podcast, Successful DNA. So you've been around a lot of people that have been successful. You've been successful, your brothers, your dad, but also the friends around your family and the network you've created with all your brothers and all your friends, whether through your brother in the NFL or your brother on Shark Tank. What, if you had to put like 3 words together that is inside of every successful person that you know, remember 2 or 3 words, what would those 2 or 3 words be?
I would say empathy, loyalty, dedication. I mean, off the top of my head.
Empathy, loyalty, and dedication. Let's go into empathy.
Yeah.
Why empathy?
So empathy, I think, is just so critical because the way that kindness or the way you talk to someone, especially whether it's an issue, whether it's excitement, it's, how you go about giving back to them and how your conversation is. If you have bring good energy all the time, people feel that.
Gotta bring the juice.
Yeah, absolutely. You gotta bring it all the time. But you don't want to fake it either. Like, you don't want to be a square box, but you don't want to overdo it. It's like you got to kind of be in the middle there. But it's also showing being kind to people, smiling, open the door. This is basic stuff, but it goes so far. And I see a lot of people that don't do that. And when I see that, I don't even really want those people around me.
I think you mentioned it. It's got to be genuine. Like the empathy, the juice. It can't be like, a little bit here, a little bit there. Like, you do it every single day. Every time I see you, it's like, let's go.
Well, you don't want to see me after I don't work out then in the morning.
Did you work out this morning?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, good. I can tell. All right, loyalty. Why loyalty?
Well, I think just loyalty because people got to trust you, right?
Yeah.
So if I'm going to refer you to someone, they you're like, oh, Gordie, you know what? That's big, but I have to know that person's going to take care of you.
Yeah.
And if they're not, that's egg on my face. That's a bad look for me, right? And if that's happening all the time, just because I want to take advantage of you or just pretend like I know someone and I really don't, that's not what I'm trying to do, right? I want to build a circle of people who are trustworthy, who are loyal, who will take care of each other, have each other's back, or even be just upfront, like, hey, Gordie, thanks for the intro. You know what? That's just not a good connection. No worries. I was just trying to connect you, right?
Yeah.
But at least they can have honest conversations and help each other out.
I like that, and especially probably for us both. Like, people are always throwing different relationships to move on from somebody else into a new relationships, and I always tell them all the time, hey, I'm loyal, I'm with this person, but hey, if they ever mess up, I'm gonna call you. And so I like that. Dedication. Dedication.
I mean, I think the biggest thing is if you're gonna go with something, whether it's a job, whether it's whatever it is, if you're gonna pick a job out or you're gonna decide to do something, whether it's play hockey when you're a kid, whether it's do an art class, for 8 weeks, right? You need to be dedicated to that. You can't just do it and then just half-ass it and then back out. You're not going to learn anything, right? So I think one of the biggest things is our parents, if we started something, we didn't finish. If we took a paper route and we said we're doing for 6 months, we're doing that paper route for 6 months.
Yeah.
If we're playing hockey and we're going to get up at 5:30 in the morning to play travel hockey, why having varsity basketball at night after school?
Yeah.
You're going to do that. You're not going to back out. You're not going to quit, right? So I think that also taught us not to quit, find ways to get it done, right? Yeah. And have fun with it. There's a lot of hard times dude, you think I want to be up at 4 a.m. to get ready for my 5:30 hockey, practice because I'm playing travel before school and then going to intramurals and doing school and then playing, high school basketball. It was crazy.
Yeah.
But I think that was a cool lesson. Like, our parents never let us give up. If we decide to start something, you do it, or you don't do it. So there was one year I didn't play baseball. I missed out. I was like lost. I didn't know what to do after that. And it actually might have been one of the best things that ever happened to me, because when I turned 12 years old and I went back out for the baseball team, I made it, travel baseball, and we went to the Little League World Series. Yeah. So that was actually a cool experience too. But
I think along with dedication, one thing I'm passionate about, and whether it's you or Rob or your dad or Chris or
Glenn, Dan,
anything,
Diane,
anybody that wants to be successful, whether it's a teacher or a coach or a pastor, I would substitute the word dedication with obsession. Like, you got to be obsessed with it.
Yeah, to a point.
Yeah. And so in what we talked about, yeah, sure, there's balance. Yeah, sure, there's that. But like, I guarantee you, if we looked at anybody around our lives and have been successful, they've been obsessed with it. Whether it's like teacher of the year in high school, they're obsessed with it. And
that's what's cool. I mean, some people just in our company, like, I used to really love doing deliveries. I can't, fitness deliveries. Yeah. I used to love seeing, the customer, first of all, how quickly I could do it, clean up the place, how happy they were because, we did such a great job. But then what I used to do is I used to make an envelope and I put tips on it, and I would put it right on my board. So when I was like, oh, hey, can you sign right here? And then I had an envelope that said tips. And they're like, oh, all right, he did a good job. I got to tip him out now, So I'm like, dude, I'm trying to teach my delivery guys, like, to learn how to hustle and make more money, because, like, everyone wants to bitch about not making enough. Yeah. Meanwhile, they're out partying 24/7. They don't want to work on Saturdays and Sundays. Yeah. They don't want to. They get up early. They don't want to work late.
They got a brand new iPhone.
Yeah, and then they're not even. Yeah, but then they don't even want to hustle. And I'm like, dude, I'm trying to help you guys out. Yeah. Like, these are the tricks I did as a kid that work. If you try it and it doesn't work, it's one thing. But if you do such a great job, you deserve to ask, for a tip. You deserve to ask, a question or to get paid more. I think if you're doing that great of a job, why not? Mm-hmm. It shouldn't hurt to do that. But now, if you do a shitty job, then you shouldn't ask for a tip. Yeah. You should just pull that envelope right away.
Yeah, it's like going to some places, going through the drive-through, and they like at Starbucks, and they pull out for a tip. It's like, I mean, come on. It's
that is kind of random now. I just feel so obligated.
And then you're a
like
jerk.
You have to do it, but they're a jerk. But then you don't put it on, and then like I don't know if that helps businesses out or doesn't. Sometimes, like, I see that, and then the person's acting the way they are, or they don't have good energy. Yeah. Then I'm like, I don't even want to go there again.
I relate it. I'll do it. Like, the Starbucks next to my house, like, it's a very, like, whoever runs that Starbucks, whatever, does a really good job, because, like, they bring the juice, they bring the energy, they're super nice, so I'll tip them. Versus some, it takes forever,
That's because you're doing that online order, so it's already ready when you walk in.
And you're inconveniencing them, and sometimes it feels like, dude, I'm giving you money. Like, how am I inconveniencing you? What's 2 more questions? One, what is the biggest mistake from a business end that you've made this year? Here we are, December 24. What's the biggest mistake you made this year?
So the hard thing is, I don't want to, like, call them mistakes, because I learn from them.
Yeah.
I think when you make a mistake in business, if you can learn or use it as motivation, I think you can actually get farther ahead. There's been challenges, like younger, when I invested in things that, I probably should have did more homework. I just got excited. I had some money laying around. Someone tells me one thing, I get excited. Cool, let's invest it. And you don't see a return, you don't get it back or whatever. And there's other things I put in. And, recently I've been way more fortunate. I've done way more research. I learned the hard way. Then I find the right people, and now I have the right people around me because of all the networking I've done, and I've been able to invest in the right things, and they've been going great. Mm-hmm. So there's not one particular thing. There's definitely been mistakes throughout my life and even this year, but if you can learn from them and actually use that to just almost like piss you off and like use as motivation, just so I'm going to get to another level now, and you're just not going to stop me, is the way I'm thinking.
Yeah, I love going through hard times sometimes, because my opinion is that 99.9% of the population that are going to go through hard times are going to retreat. Yeah. Where I'm going to attack it, and you're going to attack it, fist ready to go, because we're going to learn something through it. Yeah. Like, the good Lord puts us through temptations and tribulations to learn. And so that's cool. Going in 2025, last question, what are some goals of yours? What are you most excited about, whether it's personal or business?
So goals going into 2025, one, Jack's right here. We want to do stuff with social media to bring more light and like energy around health and fitness, and kind of making my personal brand kind of interact with our fitness brand a little bit more. And a lot of that has to do with rebranding right now. We're just trying to bring our websites, our social media, our online all together, which is really exciting. And we're about to turn the corner. And so I'm really looking forward to seeing the jump we get around all of that, our whole business, our employees, just a better message all the way around. So it's really exciting what we have going on with our leadership team and with social media right now.
Cool. Well, man, thanks for your time today. I know it's not easy to travel and drive, so I really appreciate your time.
Yeah, no worries.
Thanks,
this was awesome.
It was
Elliott,
fun.
that was great.
You're the man.